there is not going to be these huge discounts. So then if you look into 2027, to me, what's happening is not as much, there's not that discount stuff there anymore. Huge amounts of money coming in from money markets because the yield is going to go down because of interest rates going down. There's over $1 trillion or more in money markets sitting there, smart money that is going to start chasing yield. That is exactly when things are going to start shifting into income producing real estate.
Welcome to the Real Estate Pros Show, where we interview real estate investing professionals from coast to coast, as well as the service providers that serve the real estate investing industry. Our goal is simple: share what's working now to help you improve and scale your business to the next level and meet the pros that can help you get there. Real Estate Pros is powered by Investor Fuel, America's leader in helping real estate investors and professionals build the business you need to live the life you've always dreamed of. Let's start today's show. Property insurance for real estate investors doesn't have to be difficult, but it does need to be there to protect you when you need it. MyInvestorInsurance.com not only provides insurance at 15 to 30% cheaper than traditional agencies, it's built specifically for real estate investors like you. You can set up an account in about 2 minutes, get quotes on properties, turn on and turn off insurance for your fix and flip or rental properties in around 2 minutes without having to talk to anyone directly, all through our portal. There's no better way or faster way to make sure you've got the coverage you need to protect you, and no more lengthy policies either. Once you're set up, you're billed monthly and prorated by the day for however long your policy is active. It's powered by MSI, the third largest independent MGA, with 1.5 million customers and more than $1 billion in cumulative premiums written. Get set up today in about 2 minutes at myinvestorinsurance.com/fuel.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Real Estate Pros Podcast. I'm your host, Micah Johnson. And today I'm joined by Buck Joffrey, who's been making some serious moves in real estate now for the last 7 years. Buck, welcome in, man. Glad to have you.
Yeah. Hey, thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I'm excited for our talk today. You've got quite a unique background when it comes to real estate, where you got here from. So let's dive in on that. For our folks listening in who may not be familiar with you yet, tell us a little more about yourself and what your main focus is right now.
Well, I started out as a surgeon. As I mentioned, I basically went down the usual path of like the A student, as Robert Kiyosaki would say. But I ended up, after a few years in practice, and I essentially shifted completely to real estate and shut the doors on practice. Basically, just realized that I wanted to just go full time in this space. Started a podcast to try to get people interested in what was out there beyond stocks, bonds, and mutual funds. And so I started that. I've been in real estate now for, I would say for 15 years or more now since residency, but started syndicating real estate about 7-8 years ago. And
Gotcha.
that's what I do.
Love that, man. Now, take us back for a second. You've got quite a history in real estate before you even started yourself. Tell us some more of your story about how you got to where you are today.
Well, it's actually, it wasn't hard for me to find real estate because I grew up with it. My dad is an immigrant and came here as an engineer, professional, just kind of like the way I turned out, right? Like as a doctor. But in his case, he kind of got the real estate bug pretty quickly after, a couple of years in this country. Nothing fancy, right? Single family homes, duplexes, things like that. And that's basically what he's done his entire life, right? Nothing fancy, but what I saw from that is a great way to build wealth. And so for me, it wasn't a big, let's go into real estate. Real estate was sort of the natural move, right?
Love
So,
that, man.
yeah. So when I started making money, I bought some apartment buildings early on and was trying to learn myself more about sort of how to get bigger and what else to do. Started listening to some podcasts. Podcasts seemed to hit sort of part of what I wanted, but I was a guy who was wanting to do things bigger and I already had some money. So there wasn't much for me. So I started my own podcast and my own investor group at that point. And we started buying a bunch of multifamily real estate, a lot of it throughout the country. We've done a couple $1 billion of transactions and, a lot of equity, probably 300-400, I'd say probably in terms of real estate, over about $500 million in equity. So that's kind of where what I do.
Love that, man. All right. So you've seen it your whole life. Now you're into that multifamily space. You've got quite some experience there too. What are you seeing today in
Stop living on an island and join the #1 mastermind in America for professional real estate investors. Investor Fuel is a community of hundreds of the nation's top investors working together to build stronger businesses and better lives. In addition to the amazing community of real estate investors acting as a board of advisors for one another, Investor Fuel members have access to 100% funding on purchase and repairs for our members only, a health insurance program, and benefits and discounts that more than pays for the membership of most of our members, meaning it's actually costing you money to not be a member of Investor Fuel. If you're looking to scale your business and build a business that allows you to live the life of your dreams, please visit investorfuel.com today and book a call with our team.
the niche that you're in specifically? What's going on in that marketplace?
Well, like a lot of real estate, we took a beating because of the interest rates going historically accelerating at a historical pace, right? And I mean, everybody got hurt by that. And the good thing is that when you have something like that, it also creates opportunity. And I think that's where we're at right now. The big thing that is happening right now that I think I'm trying to blow the horn on, getting people in to see this, is that we are at the end of this sort of down cycle, in my view. We've got a ton of bridge debt that was floating. Uh, that stuff is going to pretty much expire by the end of this year. Okay.
Okay.
But what's happening is we're seeing properties, and we're buying properties 30-40% discounted, huge cost-based reductions, not because these properties are not functioning. It's just, the debt is expiring. There's no way these guys are going to refinance. It sucks for them, but what we're going to do is we're going to buy it. Now, here's the thing. We're buying things that are cash flowing at today's interest rates, today's, new set, variables that we have out in place.
Right.
But I want to tell people this, is that Trump just announced Kevin Warsh as the new Fed chair. Kevin Warsh has gone on record saying, literally, I think that interest rates can be brought down a lot. He used the word a lot. Okay, now, if you focus on that and you look at people who made a lot of money in the 80s and the 90s, a lot of it was simply luck. And I say luck because what happened was they bought good stuff. Okay, they were going to do fine, but all of a sudden you had a reduction. You get into a descending interest rate environment. Now you get in that
Right.
descending interest rate environment that compresses cap rates. At the same time, all this bad debt is going to be gone in 2026. There is not going to be these huge discounts. So then, if you look into 2027. To me, what's happening is not as much, there's not that discount stuff there anymore. Huge amounts of money coming in from money markets because the yield is going to go down because of interest rates going down. There's over $1 trillion or more in money markets sitting there, smart money that is going to start chasing yield. That is exactly when things are going to start shifting into income producing real estate.
Mm.
So that confluence of things, we're talking about end of bad debt, end of distressed financial stuff like that, the compression of cap rates because interest rates coming down, and then a shift of smart, big institutional money into real estate all at the same time. And I think what you're going to see is 12 to 18 months from now, you could very easily go from what everybody knows right now is a depressed real estate market into switching into a potential frothy market. That could be 2 years from now. And so
Right.
that's why I think trying to make sure that you're prepared to be a net seller in that environment is really critical.
And what are you doing to make sure you're prepared? How can folks that are listening in be ready to take advantage of what's coming?
You got to buy now. You got to buy now. Like, I think if you're seeing things at 30-40% discount from a few years ago, like I said, we're doing one right now that, we're buying at, like 40% discount basis compared to even 1 year ago from comps, right? If you can get that kind of deal right now, I think you got to not be scared because, this is when people make money. This is when people make money. It's not when everybody gets on board and wants to invest in real estate because it's a frothy market because everybody else is making money. They saw people making money.
If you're looking for consistent, high-quality leads, look no further than Investor Machine. Investor Machine isn't just another agency. It's the most sophisticated, data-driven lead generation company on the planet for real estate investors, and serves the role of being not just a lead generator for your business, but a marketing partner that is helping you achieve your goals along the way. Go to investormachine.com to learn more and schedule a call with our team today.
You want to be on that side where you're accumulating assets now that you can sell 2 years or 3 years from now.
Right. And so y'all do it nationwide, correct? You're out there looking all around. Is there any particular locations you're seeing more of that, or hotter markets? What are you noticing?
Yeah. So, we're all over the place. We're in Texas, Arizona, Atlanta, Carolinas. We've been hitting the Carolinas real hard lately. Just, these are incredible markets that have huge population growth. I think generally speaking, you're finding that, there was a lot of building going on, but a lot of that's getting absorbed, and there's not a lot of startups in the last couple of years because of interest rates again. Great markets to look at. I mean, obviously we like Phoenix, we like Dallas and all that too, but we've been hitting the Carolinas a lot. One of the goals for us is to build up a significant portfolio in the Carolina markets, for example. And then again, when a couple years comes down, you can wrap up 7 or 8 properties and sell to a really big institutional buyer at a premium. So that's kind of what we're looking at.
Man, it's fascinating. One of the things I love about real estate is you're right. It's cyclical. Where are you at in it? Identify all the data points, what's out there. And like you're saying, those folks that got rich after the 80s and 90s, they would think interest rates are cheap right now, that same
Yeah.
person, right? So it's
Yeah.
really a mentality towards what an interest rate is and then how to leverage it. Cause that's, a couple of years ago, there was so much moaning and so many things. It's like, I get it. It's hard. It's not easy to do. But what you were just pointing out, now is when the best rise to the top. This is when the deals exist. Like if you can wipe that blood off your face a little bit, get your nose down there and start finding deals out there in the markets, you're finding them. A
Yeah.
40% discount on a property at a year ago comp, that's not insignificant, man.
No,
That's a
no,
real deal. And
no.
people have been looking for deals for a while.
That's right. And, we've been lucky because we're a big enough buyer where, we used to get these things off market, right? We're not,
Right.
we're not waiting for things to go on. There's distress out there, and they know they start looking for quick outs. They got 1 month left to do it. Can you do it? Yeah, we can do it. So,
Right. Well, it's where those professional buyers are best positioned in the hardest markets. Like
right.
if you've cut your teeth and positioned yourself well to be a professional investor in this market, that's the benefit right there, especially in the off market properties. They don't have time. Time's not what they have. They can't list it. They can't do those things. They've gotten to a crunch now where it's like in the single family world, foreclosure. It's coming. Like you're either selling the property or it's being taken from you. Which one do you want? And
Yeah.
now it's like, okay, let's get out there and take it. And those don't happen at ideal times. Like again,
Micah, I
something
think,
like we just walked through has to happen to create the environments we get after.
well, the problem is that a lot of people in this market, even, passive investors got, they had some pain.
Right.
And the real reality is that if you can get the intestinal fortitude to go out there and look at what reality actually is right now, you can make up for it more if you actually do something about it. So you just got to not be scared right now. You got to look at what the reality on the ground is, and it's pretty clear.
Right. Right. So 2026, do y'all have a target on the number of properties you're trying to find, or as many as you can get in the next year?
Probably, we've already done 2, probably looking at maybe doing another 7. Yeah.
Nice. Nice. Excellent. All in that Carolina market?
Not necessarily. No, we did one in Phoenix. We did one in Carolina. I'm currently doing one in Carolina, in Raleigh. And,
Right on.
and then we'll just see what comes up, just being able to have your radar out for the entire, market, multiple markets is makes it more efficient.
For sure. For sure. And it's really the key to scale in that industry. Like if you're looking for a lot of doors, you got to leave your backyard.
If you're a new or newer real estate investor looking to launch or grow your real estate investing business, please check out Investor Fuel Club. It's a coaching community, but unlike anything you've ever seen before. And you can actually partner with members of our mastermind from coast to coast on deals right in your market. There's no better opportunity to build a consistent business than to literally partner with pros to help you avoid costly mistakes, avoid the need for capital to do deals, and help you eliminate your fears as you're starting your business. Learn more about Investor Fuel Club at investorfuel.com/club.
If you're trying to find the deals and the things that you need to do. Now, were you always that way out of the gate? Were you leaving the backyard looking all around the nation?
No, 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 no.
No.
I was in Chicago early on, and stuff I was doing was local, right? Like, and honestly, early on, like I just again, so much of real estate is like, okay, you buy something that works in the current environment, cash flows, and sometimes you really get lucky, right? And you end up in my situation. What happened was, I bought a couple some decent, 15, 20 unit apartment buildings in the Chicago area, and areas started gentrify. So it went from being, kind of a working class neighborhood to all of a sudden everybody want to live there. Right. So I was able to triple my money in like 2 years. And, I pretend I'm a genius, but sometimes a lot of this stuff comes down to buying solid assets that work in the current environment, and then holding on, and sometimes you hit it out of the park because of things like, not knowing what's going to happen. Now, obviously you're going to do value add and continue to create value, but sometimes those situations happen. And like, for example, right now, I think the macro picture is the wild card. It's the thing that I think could all of a sudden really turn a lot of these properties that are going to be, singles and doubles into home runs.
I love that, man. Now I've always been of the persuasion that you hit more home runs when you make sure you're good at singles and doubles. Like
That's
you're
right.
saying, like buying really good things. If you're going out there only looking for home runs, one, you're going to strike out a lot. And the key to what I've really heard what you've said is keeping yourself in the game.
Right.
Whatever the environment, how do you keep playing? Making sure you're buying solid assets is always the answer. No matter the market
Yep.
environment, just understanding what am I buying? Making sure that you're taking into the account. That's why I appreciate podcasts like yours where you're talking about that macro. It's not so much individual deal basis, right? It's
Yeah.
explaining here's what's really happening in the big world of things, and then here's how you dial it down to where you are. Because that's where I'm very big on real estate education, learning from people who are doing it.
Yeah.
Because if they're not still doing it, they're not keeping up with what's happening. And it is an ever changing environment. So it's like making sure you tap into professionals like yourself is something I am highly about, because that's the way we learn. That's the way we
Right.
know. It's from other
That's right.
investors, other professionals who are telling us. And if you're listening and watching in and trying to do this all on your own in a bubble, don't. Don't. That's not where
Yeah.
success lives. This is a team sport. Real estate's a team sport. Build that crew around you. Find folks you can learn from. So
100%.
that main message on your podcast lately, what has it been? Pretty much what you've been talking about today. Pay attention.
Yeah, 100%. I think I hit the macro very, very hard. Now, I try to make sure that we don't just become, singularly focused on real estate. There's a lot going on in the world right now, right? And there's lots of opportunities. You look across, and I've not traditionally been a stocks guy, right? But it's hard to ignore like what's going on with artificial intelligence. It's
Right.
silly just to pretend that isn't happening. There's those opportunities.
Right.
There's opportunities, energy sector. There's opportunities, you know, is all over the place. So what we try to do is do macro and just broad education for across the board for personal finance, people who want to be educated and make educated decisions about what they're doing.
I love that, man. I love that. Bringing the opportunities out. Cause it's funny. I'm not surrounded by too many people anymore that don't see all the opportunity all around them all the time. Right. But once you see that and realize it, it's everywhere. And it's really getting
Yeah.
clear on what do you want to do? There's opportunity. You can wear the stock market out if you want. You can wear energy out. You can wear real estate out. Do all three, diversify and be smart about
Yeah.
it. Like, but
Yep.
that's the beauty of it is, man, we are surrounded by opportunity in our world.
Yep.
We hear a lot that makes it seem like that's not the case. But when you really, like you're talking about, look at the data, look at what's on the ground, look what's actually happening. It's there. If you can get the information, education, partner with the right people, we're in an environment where you can capitalize.
Yep. Agree 100%.
Well, Buck, man, I love these kind of conversations. I myself enjoy learning the macro things. I appreciate your
Yeah.
time, story,
You bet.
perspective here today. So for folks that are listening in that want to be able to check you out, see what your show has going on, what's the best way for them to find you?
Yeah, I mean, it's Wealth Formula Podcast. We're on all the channels. If you listen to podcasts, if you watch podcasts, Spotify, Apple, YouTube, wherever, just look up Wealth Formula Podcast and you'll find us.
Excellent, man. Thank you for sharing. If you're listening and watching in right now, check the show notes. We'll make sure all Buck's links are there where you can check out his website, find his podcasts. Like I always recommend on this show, when you meet a professional, when we bring someone on who's good at what they do, listen to them, take their advice. There's a reason why they're there. I've been mentioning the richest man in Babylon lately. Don't take jewel advice from the brick maker. Okay. Find the folks who know
There you
what the
go.
heck they're talking about and listen to them. So again, Buck, man, thanks for being here today.
No,
Bring
thank
some
you,
value.
Micah.
Appreciate you.
Take care.
Absolutely. If y'all got value out of today's episode, please like this episode. Share it with someone else you think could get value out of it as well. As always, please don't forget to subscribe. We appreciate every single one of you that follows along out there with us. We've got more conversations coming up with operators just like Buck out there building a real business in the industry. Thanks for being with us. We'll see you on the next episode.
Thanks for joining us for today's Real Estate Pros Show. You can learn more about the amazing benefits of the Investor Fuel Mastermind community, including surrounding yourself with hundreds of other rock stars, 100% financing for your deals, and members-only discounts from vendors you're likely already using that, as a member of Investor Fuel, will save you more than the cost of your membership. Visit investorfuel.com to learn more. If you're interested in joining us as a guest of this show, please visit investorfuel.com/pros to apply. You can also check the show notes for access to free resources, how to get access to world-class lead generation, and much more. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss another episode. Have a great day. We'll see you on the next show.